feel so far. You're so far away. Come. You're far. I had to scoot the video back far so I don't rock it because I'm handsy, I guess, and everything starts shaking. Hello, Saltines. How are you? I've missed you. Hope you guys are doing well tonight. And if you're new to this channel, welcome. You're in for a ride. You're in for a trip because I'm a psychic and I don't hold back. I tell it like I see it and no apologies. If you are not already subscribed to the channel, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Click that bell notification after you subscribed. And if you're not getting your notifications of my upcoming shows, or if I just posted a video, go back into the subscription down here where my name is and it says that you're subscribed. Just click on that. Click subscribe again. It's not going to give me ghost numbers or anything like that. But make sure the bell's clicked. That's all. That's all I'm saying is click your bell. And don't forget, this is just a side note, you guys. You got to turn off your devices once in a while and turn them back on. Phones, computers, TVs, laptops, everything has a brain in it these days. So a lot of times these little technical problems that create huge problems are just a matter of, have you tried turning it off and back on again? That's from a show from England called The IT Crowd. Hilarious show. If you haven't seen it, I suggest watching it. It's funny. And, being a psychic medium means I'm not here to prove anything to you. I'm here to share with you the truth and things as I see them from my perspective. I'm allowed to have a perspective. I'm allowed to have an opinion. I'm allowed to keep my voice. You guys make the case for me. You guys prove me right. Really, time proves me right. A lot of these things I talk about are later proven true. And, we'll talk more about that. That comes into play all the time. We're going to talk in regards to the Murdaugh case. Maggie and Paul Murdaugh were murdered. Their relative, dad and husband, Alec, aka Richard Murdaugh, was convicted for these two murders, which I've been shown that he did not do it. But today we're going to talk about Becky Hill. Who is Becky Hill? She's a lady. She's a human being. She served as the county clerk in the Alec Murdaugh murder trial. I never noticed her because I was just always focused on either the defendant or the witness or the attorney cross-examining, blah, blah, blah. So Becky was in the background. Apparently, everyone liked her. She was helpful. A lot of positive feedback, a lot of information. I'm going to read to you what a county clerk should do, okay? And I have an article. I'm just going to read a little bit about it, about who is Becky Hill. What happened to her? She was a middle school teacher for a little while, and this job that she was in, most recently as the county clerk, was an elected position. My understanding that sometimes they're not elected, sometimes they're appointed. I believe the report I saw said she was elected, so she had to throw herself out there in public and prove who she is, which is really sad. We don't want to see women, especially in these important jobs, doing bad things. Has she done something illegal? We're going to talk about that. So let me just start out by clarifying. I'm just on the Google. What is a county clerk? The county clerk is a public official responsible for maintaining records for a county. Here in the US, we have the United States, your particular state that you live in, and then you have a county, there's districts and stuff. So there's, you go down, the positions get smaller and smaller. It's like the president versus the mayor. The president's over the US, the mayor's kind of over the city, but still under the president of the United States. A clerk is responsible for filing vital records related to a county's population, such as birth, marriage, death certificates. They may also issue licenses and permits, handle telephone inquiries, and serve customers. So, provides a variety of direct public services, such as, like I said, marriage licenses, confidential marriages, filing fictitious business name statements, qualifying a notary public and oaths and bonds, all that sort of thing that we all know and appreciate. So, but what is the county clerk role in a court situation? What is a county clerk? The main duties of the clerk of the county and the court is to assist the judge or commissioner. Commissioners sometimes act as judge and are still called Your Honor. But the clerk would basically be the right-hand person for the judge or commissioner. So that's a big job. That's an important job. If you've ever been an assistant to a big job, everything falls at your feet. You are responsible for everything. And if anything great happens and everything runs smoothly, oh, that judge or boss is really going to get the kudos from upper management and investors. And God forbid, if one little thing not be proper, you're shit out of luck. It's all going to come down on you. How wonderful everything else is, and then one little tiny, it's all your fault because you're the peon. Well, as I said, I don't believe in peons. I am not a peon. You are not a peon. I don't care if you didn't finish school, been divorced, whatever your situation is that you feel the pressure from society making you feel bad about yourself. Let it go. Let it go. We're equal. Okay. That's the first thing on this channel. We are equal. I don't care what your experience. I don't care your education. I'm telling you, as a psychic medium, no. The God of the universe doesn't care what college you went to. Okay? And I say this because now, again, I'm going to talk about Becky Hill. This is my psychicness. This is my opinion as a psychic medium. Can I prove any of this? No. Will any of this information I'm saying ever come out to the public? Probably. What have I seen? What have I seen so far? What I have seen so far was I watched I'd say maybe I watched 10 minutes, maybe, probably closer to 5, but 10 minutes, I'll say, on Law and Crime with that Vinny guy. He was playing a video of Becky Hill being interviewed by some other guy. I know it's complicated. I don't know who these people were, but the interview wasn't about. The interview was about her book. She didn't really talk about what was in the book too much, as opposed to she wrote the book quickly. She never thought she'd be an author. And, she's just so thrilled that Alec was convicted and, things were done properly in her opinion, blah, blah, blah. All right. So why did I watch that? I wanted to see her energy. What does that mean? That sounds hippie-ish. Are you a hippie? Well, I'm not a hippie. And there's nothing wrong if you're a hippie. Okay? It just doesn't matter. There's a lot of shit that just doesn't matter. Quit pointing it out. I don't care. I don't care. Okay, so what I saw from my professional opinion, I don't feel good about it. I don't feel good about Becky's situation. I don't feel good about her state of mind and how she feels entitled. And I think this position of being the county clerk really went to her head. Again, my professional opinion as a psychic and reading her energy. I saw a lot of cockiness. Like I said, entitlement. Laws don't apply to her. Her opinions in the case mattered. They shouldn't. They shouldn't. That's not why that job is there. It's like saying, well, I went to McDonald's and I had a bad hamburger, but the accountant was there and the accountant came up and said, no, I promise you, I promise you that this meat's good, or that, our food's fine. Well, you're the accountant. You don't have anything to do with the issue of the food here. Okay, go away. And in that regard, Becky's opinion of the case shouldn't have mattered. And right before I came on right now, Maggie Murdaugh came into my presence and she goes, oh, I knew Becky. Huh, okay, that's interesting. Now, if you didn't see my last video on the Murdaugh case, please watch it, because Maggie and Papa Murdaugh, that's Paul, the son, came into my presence. They were right here and here. Someone's trying to come in again right now. Is it them? Possibly. They feel like talking. There's been months and months where they didn't feel like talking. That's okay. I just didn't talk about it. But as I've said, when I start talking about things, a lot of times the spirits will come forward. And, I asked myself the question, why? Why would Maggie care if Alec got blamed for doing the murders when he did not? What would it matter? They're dead. What would it matter? Well, after I hung up from the last video I did about the Murdaughs, Maggie said, it's for Buster. It's for Buster. Maggie and Paul want this situation to be fixed. If you don't know, I believe, based on spirit and a lot of information, Alec did not pull any trigger that killed Maggie or Pawpaw. Was he there? Yes. Is it his fault? Yes. It's totally his fault, but he didn't do the actual murdering. And sorry, I'm a little, spirit's talking. I get a little wacky when spirit starts talking to me. Let me just read a little bit about this Becky. This is from an article from The State. It's called, from yesterday. Crime in Courts, part of the McClackey Media Network. Okay, who is Becky Hill? The clerk of court accused of jury tampering in Alex. They said Alex, but it's Alec Murdaugh's trial. That's a big, big problem. Accusations that Colton County Clerk of Court Rebecca Becky Hill tampered with jurors during the Alex Murdaugh murder trial will shock those who watched or attended the trial, including journalists, law enforcement officers, and lawyers who saw Hill as a friendly problem solver who ensured the smooth runnings of a once in a lifetime event. I'm not sure it's once in a lifetime because the world is not a good place right now. Over 6 weeks, Hill became something of a sensation. Her apparent diligence, gentleness, humor, and unfathomable demeanor seemed to lend an air of Southern charm to a story that was straight out of a Southern Gothic. But Murdaugh attorneys Dick Harpootlian and Jim Griffin allege that Hill tampered with the jury and influenced the outcome of the trial to secure herself for a book deal and media appearances that would happen in the event of a mistrial. Okay, here's how everything opened up. Here's how the can opened up and she exposed herself was through this book. Her book's a #1 seller, I heard. That's great. I don't care. We don't care. Good for you. The problem is, guess who's reading her book? The jurors. And some of them came forward and contacted Alec Murdaugh's attorneys saying, look, this is what she says in her book. This is not what happened. In fact, it's far from what happened. And here is what happened. And I'm starting to think something illegal happened. And, you know, at the time, most people haven't been in a big profile murder jury or any jury of any murder or a jury at all, like me. I've never been in a jury and I never will be because I'm psychic. You know, when you're in a jury, you're overwhelmed. You know, most of these people probably don't talk crime like we do, probably overall. A lot of them don't know anything about crime. They're trying to follow instructions. I think it's a little bit of a drill sergeant situation sometimes in the courtroom because you're afraid. There's cops everywhere. And it's like, okay, well, I don't want to say the wrong thing. I don't want to cause any trouble. A lot of emotions, a lot of unsureness during these kind of situations, especially this one. So there's so much that's come out. It has been said, allegedly, Becky Hill was rushing people. She was giving them her personal opinion on what the outcome should be. She was guiding them towards a guilty verdict. She was coercing them. Sorry, here comes Spirit again. Anytime I pause like that, it's not because I'm stupid. I'm just listening. I got words going in, I got words going out. Sorry, hold on. It's alleged that Becky invented a situation that kicked off one of the jury members. I'll give you the gist, a very short gist. She says juror number whatever needs to be kicked out because she was talking about the case with her husband on Facebook, her ex-husband, who we now know she's had 3 restraining orders on this ex-husband, which sounds like 15 years maybe of restraining order. Each one's probably 5 years and hasn't seen him for 14 of those years. And there was no such conversation between between this juror and her ex-husband. You can delete everything off a computer. You can burn your computer, okay? You can sink it, you can bury it in the mud. That doesn't matter. Do you know what a cloud is? Do you know what a cloud is? My daughter worked at Google in the cloud. A cloud is storage of data. Here in California, and I'm sure other parts of the world, I don't know because I'm here. I can't say that I've ever seen a cloud anywhere else, to be honest. We have clouds going up here left and freaking right. Everywhere. The cloud, the claw. Sounds like from Toy Story. The claw. The cloud holds and maintains information, whether you like it or not. It doesn't matter. If you are like Chris Watts and you have a secret texting app or something, don't matter. That doesn't matter. It's still in the cloud. Still in the cloud. Cloud has a good memory. So it's been discovered there was no such dialogue or conversation between this jury member and her ex-husband. None. For 14, 15 years. That can be proved through social media, through technology, through your phone, through cell records. You don't think our phones are listening? Our phones are listening to everything you say. Like right now, I'm talking about the Murdaugh case, right? Well, next time I go on my phone, guess what's going to pop? Sorry, my phone's filthy. Guess what's going to pop up? Alec Murdaugh stuff on the phone. It's listening, just like Alexa listens. There's no privacy. But if you're not doing anything illegal, it really shouldn't be a problem. Is it invasion of privacy? Absolutely. 100% it's invasion of privacy. And it does bother me. But because of that technology, you're not going to get away with lying. And that's so unfortunate because this woman came this far in life. I think she's 57 or 58. She came this far in life. People seem to like her during the trial. Like I said, I didn't even notice the woman. Is she lying? Did she do that? Is she guilty of this? My answer, yes. She abused, in my opinion, her position as county clerk. She inserted herself into something she should not have because she doesn't have authority to be talking to the jury members. She could answer questions like, hey, okay, lunchtime's at 12:30, be back at 1 or whatever the situation. That's the extent of her role as a county clerk. You need help if there's an emergency phone call or something. A lot of stuff goes on during court. Life doesn't stop. People have kids, people have loved ones. If there's an emergency, she might be the one to say, hey, you know what? I needed to give you a message or whatever the situation is. Taking lunch orders, any allergies, are you vegetarian? Not telling people no more potty breaks until you guys come to a decision. Excuse me. Oh, that's bad. If I was a juror, I think I would have said something right then and there. Wouldn't you? I mean, I think I know enough to know that that's not kosher. How can that be legal? And then no smoking breaks. And was this all just to get her 10 minutes of fame? Or is it 15 minutes? 15 minutes of fame. You don't want to get fame in this this way, though, do you? This is bad. Miss Hill betrayed her oath of office for money and fame, the filing alleges. In a 65-page challenge filed Tuesday morning in the South Carolina Court of Appeals, Hill is accused of having one person removed from the jury, encouraging jurors not to be fooled by Murdaugh's testimony, and having inappropriate private conversations with a court-appointed jury foreperson. It's like the head person, the lead or whatever of the jury. Hill has not responded to a request for comment from the state. The defense filing references several passages from Hill's memoir. This is her book called Behind the Doors of Justice, co-written with Neil Gordon and published earlier this year by Wind River Media. I don't know if that's self-publishing or not. Hill's memoir proves what may be the only public portrait of Hill and her experience of the trial. It paints a portrait of a public servant who was devoted and often cast her work in terms of religious obligation. What? Religion has no place in a courtroom. But it also showed a local official who was caught up in the media buzz surrounding a high-profile trial where she says she was convinced of the defendant's guilt. In the book, Hill describes herself as, quote, a bit of a legal eagle, unquote, whose entire career had led up to her being elected Colton County Clerk of Court. At the time of the trial, Hill was relatively new, a new clerk. While she had worked as a court reporter over a decade, she had only been elected to the position of Colton County Clerk of Court in November 2020. Previously, she had been a middle school teacher, worked in the state and local disability agency, and held administrative roles in law offices before working as a court reporter for 14 years. After starting as a freelance court reporter, Hill became an official court reporter for the state of South Carolina in 2008. She wrote in her book she was assigned to Judge Perry M. Bunker, the administrative judge for the 14th Circuit, which covers Allendale, Hampton, Collection, Jasper, and Beaufort counties. It was this position that she first met Alex Murdaugh and his father, Randolph, who served as the 14th Circuit solicitor attorney. She describes in the book seeing both Murdaughs around the courthouse and described as wonderful charm, quote, unquote, that seemed to have been passed down between generations. In fact, Hill's family and the Murdaughs had been entwined for generations, as our many families are in that rural, sparsely populated corner of Low Country. Hill recounted that her granddaddy, Felder Hires, a mechanic by trade but moonshiner by nature, ran an illegal liquor still with Buster Murdaugh, Alex's grandfather, who was serving as solicitor at the time. One thing I heard Becky say during that interview was, well, I remember working with Alec Murdaugh, and now I was the one, so dramatic, I was the one that gave his guilty verdict. Well, who's going to give your guilty verdict now, lady? That's awful. It's awful. However, this is the universe working. This is how the universe works. Mysterious ways. Like magic without the wand. I told you who did it. And people are still saying, well, if Alec didn't do it, who did it? Why doesn't he say? As I said, he doesn't want to die, Alec. if Alex says who these two men to his left were, I just realized something. Hold on. If Alec, sorry, I'm getting chills. Something's happening. If Alec said who these two guys, these goons, henchmen, whatever, who did the actual killing, if he says who they are, one, they're probably not the real names. Two, the real boss is going to know and kill him. Alec is lucky he got away with his life as it is. I mean, like I said, he did a lot of bad things. But he didn't do the killing. And this is similar to some other cases we've talked about. This isn't the first time somebody has taken the blame or the fall because their life is in danger. So it's either, sure, I'll spend the rest of my life everyone thinking I'm a murderer, but at least I'm alive and I get 3 round square meals a day. Not round meals, square meals. Dodging. So yeah, he's not going to tell. He won't. Alec values his life much more than he values an innocent verdict. But since this happened, I'm not a lawyer, but all these different things could be coming up, and I don't know, mistrial, retrial, whatever, all the different things that are being said about possibly happening moving forward with Alec Murdaugh. So I'm excited to see how that goes, and I'm excited to see if Maggie and Paul will continue to give me any information. Am I sitting in the dark? I think I am. When did it get dark? It's getting darker earlier. I do feel Maggie and Paul here, but they're kind of behind me. They're not like here in my voice, in my throat, but they're here. They're like in the background. It's like they're just kind of sitting in the audience, if you will. It's sad, like the whole thing is sad. But don't give up your life's work for the 15 minutes of fame and your freedom. Not worth it. Not worth it at all, ever, in my opinion. So that's what I have to say about Becky Hill. And I'll keep track of this situation, obviously, because I love keeping track of this case. And we'll see what happens. I'll come back on whenever I feel like I need to throw in my 2 cents or whatever. I am going to talk about coming up, I'm going to be talking about the YouTube mom of 8 passengers. Oh, I'm not happy about that situation at all. At all. I'm going to go nuts. I'm going to go on I might scream a little bit. I don't know. I'm very upset. I'm very upset about this child abuse allegation from this YouTuber. So it's complicated. It's not pretty. It's another trigger warning kind of situation involving children. So that's not cool. You're cool though. And I am so happy you made it to the end of this video. Thank you so much. I know I bailed on you guys on Friday, but you know what? The pain from my tooth kind of just came in all of a sudden. It's like, I can't talk. I can't do it. I can't talk. And so I apologize though. I will try and do a live. I promise I will soon. But I can't be on a live show and in pain. So I got to plan the medication right. Take the ibuprofen at just the right time so I can last an hour online. So I appreciate you guys though so much. And I'll see you soon. Don't Don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Stay safe. Be happy. Be happy you're alive. You're breathing in air. You woke up this morning. Yes, that's a win. That is a win for a lot of us today. All right, Saltines. I'll see you real soon. Take care. Ciao.